Welcome back to another video in our Ask the Roofer series, our guest series, if you will. We got Mike Claudio back with us, and we're trying to keep a straight face because we were cracking up before the video. But we wanted to talk about, we've had the opportunity recently to work on a very custom project together. So we want to talk about like how you guys on your end and somewhat on our end as well are able to like solidify what that product's going to look like at the end before you start, because a lot of times the idea one person has in their head versus the idea that you guys are understanding or we're understanding on a project. We didn't silence the phone, sorry. It's very different. So how do you bridge that gap?
Yeah, so happy to be back, guys. So it's a great question. I mean, one of the biggest challenges from an GC or contractor perspective is meeting the vision of a client.
Reading minds.
Reading minds, yeah, because there's so many variables out there, and everybody's watching HGTV and everything. Yep. It's so easy and so cheap and so just 30 minutes later you have a whole house renovated. So that's the biggest challenge, is trying to understand, even from the budgeting, design, proposal stages, understanding that vision and being able to kind of get as close as possible. So
bridge the expectation.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things we use right now in that initial stage, kind of within the first 2 meetings, is Pinterest and Houzz. Mm-hmm. So those are great sites that people can use to find products and the design. I absolutely have a Pinterest account. I'll start a board for us.
Okay, great.
But ultimately, that allows us to be able to see, okay, you were saying this, but this is what you meant. We were picturing this, you were picturing that. Helps get everybody on the same page. Yep. And that's really good. Like Pinterest and Houzz works really well for kind of standard, what I would call basic or straightforward bathroom, kitchen remodels. Yeah. When you're getting to the project you're talking about, I mean, that was an 800 square foot addition plus a full interior remodel. That's a pretty big project.
Correct.
So in those situations, I recommend getting an experienced architect and or interior designer involved, or potentially both, because they can help bring ideas and visualize them in a 3D graphic, put them into architectural plans so that we can work from them.
Yep.
But that's not always necessary for kind of your standard interior design work or remodels. But when you're dealing with somebody who's got grandiose plans and a finite budget and want to really get the most for their money, getting somebody like an architect or interior designer involved can help them shop ideas. And to be fair, as a GC, we don't only have somebody on staff that's going to go to 10 tile shops with you. Like, we don't only have that person. But interior designer, what you pay them for is to go and bargain shop and find ideas and find products for the best price. And that
actually solidify that image in your mind.
Because they create these big idea boards and get everything on the same page so that everybody can execute the plan.
Yep.
Like we have a flip we're doing right now. We got an interior designer involved, and she really helped with creating a flow to the whole house with color schemes, products, light fixtures, plumbing fixtures. And what most people don't understand, and it's not overwhelming, but it can if you're not prepared for it, is the amount of decisions that can go into a pretty big remodel. From plate covers to faucets to light fixtures to paint colors to granite.
That's why we don't do remodels.
That's why you don't do remodels. And so
to cabinet handles.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many decisions. So having somebody that can help you organize your thoughts and ideas, whether that's I feel like we're pretty good at that from a small scale perspective, but if it's large scale, whole house type stuff, it's good to get somebody on board or on the team that can handle all of that and has good experience with it.
We see a lot of times too where people have either seen something called something or they think it's called this, and they're saying one thing but they really mean another.
Yeah.
Like between different materials, they're calling it this, but in their mind it's this. So we hear that name of, oh, I want this. I'm like, okay, great, I can give you that.
Yep.
And then you get down the road, like, that's not what I thought. But you're like, here on the package, it's what you called it there.
Yeah.
But bridging that gap, I mean, on our end, and just like you said, if you're doing a basic new roof or new windows, we've got samples like crazy. We can take a shingle board, we call it, with samples of the shingle, hand it to them, hold it against their house so that we can see it. But when you're doing a huge project or a complete renovation, we're trying to match colors and paint colors to shingle colors to trim colors. In extreme cases, when we're doing large stuff like that, we'll actually take, like one project we were doing a metal roof, and it was a custom siding and it was an accent colored trim. So we actually built a sample for them, painted it, put it together, because what they were saying and what we were telling them was a good idea were two different things. So like, let's build this for you so you can actually see it. And it was for a community. It wasn't just one house. So had multiple different people involved. So we built a little
Product board.
a product board, yeah, a little sample of what it would look like, and it was completely different than what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And it saved a ton of money on that end, because if we had started that project, if we'd ordered material like that and built it, then I mean they would have not been at all happy with it. So
No, that's a big thing. Is not only does that create financial issues, but schedule and timing issues too, right? So if the material shows up and it's like that's not what we were looking for, well, you could be in there 2, 3, 4 weeks returning
Easily.
that one, getting the new one.
if you could even return it.
if you could even return it, that's another point.
But most metal products for us are non-returnable, so we order it, we own it.
Yep.
So locking that down on the front end is huge, because if you ordered, $50,000 worth of metal roofing and it's not what the customer wanted,
You're stuck with it.
that's a big bullet to bite.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So that's a good point. Is with the material, it helps the client determine what's important and what's not important
Yep.
too. Like, hey, this is what you want, this is what you're picturing, but it's going to be 30% higher than your budget, and here's why. And then we can find a new vision for them and a new product that really fits the mold.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, thanks for being with us again. I think we covered that topic pretty well.
Yeah, thanks guys.
So
always reach out to us on Facebook if you have any questions specifically. We'll both be tagged in the video, so let us know
I'm
if you have
supposed to plug you, not you plug you.
That's fine.
That's my job. I'm just kidding. No, like and share, please. We've seen a lot of shares recently and a lot of comments. So if you have a question about either of our industries, if you put it in the comments, whoever it's directed to will get back to you and get that answer for you. So thanks so much.
Thanks guys.
Thanks for watching another episode of our Ask the Roofer video series. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe here on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, whichever way you prefer to see it. And if you have questions, we'd love to get your input, see what you want to learn about, and do our best to help explain those things to you.